This is Marcus Kiser with the McColl Center of Art and Innovation, and today we will be doing the mini art lab. I am a former McColl alumni artist. My practice is multimedia design and illustration, and a lot of my work revolves around social justice and community engagement. So most of my work revolves around how I'm able to use art, technology to engage communities and help people for the better and create opportunities for those less fortunate. A lot of work revolves around inclusiveness and equitable design, and that is pretty much my studio practice. You can find most of my work or most of my projects at kaisercorp.me. That is my website. Please feel free if you want to find out more information on a few projects that I've done. Find them at kaisercorp.me. I've worked with a lot of companies and spaces, and I do a lot of cool work around community engagement. So that is my practice, and today I want to talk about building simple iconography in order to communicate social change and positive change for people. This is going to be a quick exercise done with Adobe Illustrator, building icons in order to communicate. You don't have to know how to draw, you just have to know how to express yourself through like simplify icons. So that's what today's lesson will be about, and we will get started by opening up Adobe Illustrator and doing a quick tutorial on how to create icons. And you can also use the stuff in logo creation. You can use it in any art practice you want. So let's open up Adobe Illustrator. So for today's mini art lab, we'll be working in Adobe Illustrator, and I will showcase how to build a simple icon in order for us to communicate, social change or anything around that means. So today I think I will be creating an icon for solar energy, because the environment is, that's one of the issues we're dealing with. So I like to think a lot of my art revolves around simplifying things to where everybody can understand them. So if you could think of this as like, what would pro solar power be as a road sign? How can we better communicate that? And I will show you my thought process on how to communicate visually through symbols without having to speak. So first I have Adobe Illustrator open. This is my favorite program. Most of my art, even my illustration, is created through Adobe Illustrator. All vector images, very beautiful. So we're gonna start off, and again, I said I'm gonna create an icon for solar energy. And I'm gonna show you guys how we can communicate with solar energy. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna come in here, grab the ellipse tool, simple circle. I'm gonna create a circle, and then I am going to drop my circle in here. So we're talking about solar energy, so we know that that represents the sun. So also what I would like to do is I'm gonna bring this down here. I'm gonna make the stroke of this circle a little thicker, just so it can be seen. And then I am going to create a power button. So think about your own switch on any of your computers or any of your appliances. Think about what that looks like. It's pretty much this, right? So this is your own switch. So I'm thinking about the idea of the power in solar energy. So we're gonna create a simple on switch. So we have this circle, and then I want to combine this with the idea of power and the sun. So we already have our circle. Creating a sun is really easy, really simple. So I'm just gonna come out here and draw some strokes. Then I'm gonna make sure that those strokes are the same thickness as my sun. Maybe not the same, but just a little smaller. And then I'm pretty much just gonna copy these. I forget that I'm on a Mac, so I gotta remember my shortcuts. but I'm going to expand this object. Okay. Copy, paste that. And we're going to kind of create our sun. You're going to see how the sun comes together. Going to go to my line palette and make sure that these are all aligned up. And then I'm just going to do a quick copy and paste here. Paste in place. Then shift that. Copy. Then we can really create like this really quick. So see how quick and you know, this is just me knowing my shortcuts, kind of building out this sign. I'm gonna do one more, actually two more copy in places. So copy, Command C, Command F to paste in place. And then I'm just shifting, I'm gonna shift drag that. There we go, we have that one. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here. So these two, Command C, copy, paste in place, and then I'm just gonna shift and drag that to there. So now we have a quick sun, and just to add a quick cherry on top to make sure that this is more of a symbol, I'm gonna turn this power switch into an exclamation point. So we're just gonna center that, bring that down. So how do we create simple symbols that kind of communicate change or social change around things? So as you can see, I've already made a quick symbol, quick, easy logo to get people's attention. You can see the circle and the power switch. You can also see the rays of the sun. Think of this like if we had to paint, if this were like a cave painting, how easy could we explain this to other people that didn't speak the same language as us or that didn't understand things? So we have our sun, we have our rays from the sun, power switch, and then the exclamation point to let you know that like, hey, this is a serious issue. We can add expression to this as well. So that is a quick lesson in iconography, how to create a simple signal. Don't have to be the best drawer in the world. It works around inclusive design. So being able to communicate with symbols kind of can, you know, any one of us can do that. It's just a matter of how we think and how we want to communicate with each other. So in our ways of inclusive design, I just demonstrated a digital version of how to create symbols. But what if we don't have access to Adobe Illustrator or we don't have access to a computer? So we can also create symbols in a pretty basic analog way. So this is the more traditional way of how to create these symbols. So part of my work is I work a lot with environmental justice for Black communities. I work with a company called Soul Nation. I am a creative director for Soul Nation as well. And we do a lot of work talking about clean air quality and things like that. So a lot of times when we're, you know, we also learning digital stuff, we have to have this kind of traditional background. So today I was just thinking of a quick symbol that, you know, one of my colleagues created around being green and loving the environment. And it was pretty much just this idea of a heart. I'm just gonna come in here with my French curve. Oh, that's not a heart. Well, it is if we do it that way. And then gonna come back here with our French curve. And then I'm just gonna kind of come down and finish this heart. So a heart is pretty much a universal symbol of love. We all kind of understand what the heart means. We kind of have these ideas of love. We understand what love is. But then I'm just gonna kind of come in here and create this simple symbol of growth, of also a branch or a leaf. And then we're going to kind of have this heart encompass this leaf or this tree that is growing. I want to color these leaves in black, really rough sketch. These are just simple icons on ways to communicate. So we think about this, we have our heart, we have our leaf, and then we have our plant that's growing in the middle of the heart. So just kind of understanding the ideas of like love and the environment. And if we wanted to use color, I probably would make this leaf a bit greener. But iconography, if this were on a traffic sign, you kind of get the gist of like what this means. The idea of growth and helping the environment as well. Leaves represent the growth, heart represents love. So thinking about things and how we can communicate kind of like these universal symbols or ideas of like what we all what we need as humans. So like, it should be easy. I wish everyone would like go out and try this. You don't have to be the greatest artist in the world. You don't have to have an understanding for perspective and all of that cool stuff. So that's why I kind of include this as like a form of inclusive design and how we can use art to better serve our communities and how we can also better communicate with each other and create better worlds. So that is the conclusion for today's lesson, and I would like to thank everyone for taking on a quick iconography workshop. This is Marcus Kiser with the McColl Center signing out. I want to thank everyone.